And good morning, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma, and this is what I call my morning musings. Well, here we are. It is the day before the start of Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2013. Wow. I have to tell you, I'm super excited. We've been getting registrations in. Don't know what the attendance is going to be yet, but I do know that no matter how many people show up, we're going to have a great conference. We have some great speakers lined up. Our theme is the tabernacle of God is with man. Nothing really could be more exciting, because the promise in the Bible of God establishing his tabernacle among men is really the promise of the restoration of the garden. As a matter of fact, before I turn the camera off, gather all my video equipment, get it ready to move out to the convention center, let me share with you a few thoughts that will be developed in this conference. And don't forget, if you cannot come, you can sign up for the live stream video. Go to www.bibleprophecy.com, hit events, and then watch live. And it will guide you through how to sign up for the live stream video. And appreciate those who are signing up for that very much. I think you're going to enjoy this. We've signed up for a service that supposedly guarantees excellent quality, so we're excited about this. Okay. Virtually everyone agrees that the Garden of Eden was itself the temple of God. As a matter of fact, Greg Beale, in his book, The Temple and the Church's Mission, does a really excellent job of demonstrating how the Garden of Eden was considered by the rabbinic authorities, by the ancient Jews, and is recognized today in scholarship. The garden was recognized as the temple of God, the most holy place of the Lord himself. So man originally was in the temple of God. Now notice, this is a temple not made with hands. Life in the temple was life itself. What happened? Man sinned. He was cast out of the garden. And at the entrance to the garden, a cherubim was set with a flaming sword that prevented man from re-entering the garden temple. Well, God, as a reminder of his presence and of his temple, later gave Israel the tabernacle and the temple. Here's what's fascinating. On all 10 veils of the temple, there were 10 veils according to Exodus chapter 26. Cherubim were embroidered into the veils. On the most holy place, or on the ark that was in the most holy place, cherubim were on top of the ark. What did the cherubim represent? The garden. Separation from the garden. So while the tabernacle and the temple represented God's presence among them, the cherubim represented separation from him. And yet, the Bible tells us over and over again that the temple, the priesthood, the sacrifices, the entire cultus was typological. Here is a temple made with hands that has embroidered into its veils, that has in its very architecture the representation of the original garden not made with hands. And in this temple made with hands is the foreshadowing of the coming of the true temple of God, a temple not made with hands. In other words, Israel's Old Covenant temple foreshadowed the return to the temple not made with hands. Now this is devastating to the dispensational paradigm, who tell us that we're waiting for the rebuilding of a future temple made with hands, as it were, physical edifice. No, that old covenant temple was a shadow of better things to come, and the better things that were to come was a temple not made with hands. Well, the New Testament tells us over and over that Christ is the chief cornerstone of the temple. The apostles and prophets are the foundation of the temple. And Peter said, writing to first century Jewish saints, you therefore are living stones being, being built up. You are a spiritual priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices. He is citing the Old Testament prophecies of the building of the temple of God as he goes ahead to talk about Christ as the chief cornerstone, rejected by man, but accepted by God. In other words, the temple of God, the temple not made with hands, the temple of Genesis, the temple foreshadowed by the literal temple, that temple was being built. It was under construction. Pardon me. How exciting and how devastating to the amillennial and postmillennial folks who tell us, pardon me, well, yes, the Old Testament foreshadowed the spiritual things of Christ, but the spiritual things of Christ now point us to the physical things that will be established when Christ comes again. That was the position of Joel McDermott in my debate with him in 2012 at the Ardmore Preterist Pilgrim weekend. That debate is available on my websites. Well, if that's true, if the spiritual things of Christ foreshadow coming physical things, then that must mean that just like the dispensationalist tells us, we're waiting for the building of another physical temple. And as I said in my debate with Joel McDermott, postmillennialism is headed toward dispensationalism. You can't argue that the spiritual things of Christ point to the physical things of the kingdom without arguing for a physical temple. I mean, after all, you got a physical land, you got a physical city. Why not a physical temple? That's dispensationalism. Hey, this is going to be developed a whole lot more at the Preterist Pilgrim weekend that begins tomorrow, July the 18th through the 20th, Ardmore, Oklahoma, Ardmore Convention Center. Like I said, if you can't come, you've got to sign up for the live stream video. Once again, go to my website, www.bibleprophecy.com. At the top, it will say Events. Click on that drop-down menu that says Watch Live, follow the instructions, sign up, and you'll be able to participate in the seminar. This is going to be absolutely wonderful. Well, I'll try to give some updates. Others will, I'm sure, as they attend. Otherwise, we'll see you on the flip side. God bless. You have a great weekend.